is Politics on Some TV. I'm Abraham Minor Judah. It's a privilege to have you join us on this very important program, Some Today's Politics, where we dissect issues shaping our nation, our country, shaping our state. And tonight, we take a sober look at the state of the nation. A country rich in promise, rich in resources, rich in in population, rich in human capacity. But we've been having issues with leadership, and this has affected development, economy, security, representations, and even the respect that Nigeria once commanded in a committee of nations is beginning to wane away. So nations rise or fall not necessarily only by strength of their institutions, but by the caliber of leaders they choose and the leaders they send forth to represent them. And today, we will look at the list of ambassadors, nominees that we planning to send forth to represent us across the world. As Nigerians, our responsibility demands that we ask questions of those who will represent us, leaders who reflect our values, who reflect what we want to project to the world. So today, we'll be looking at the list of the ambassador nominees, the nominees by the President of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We'll be critically looking at the list, and we'll try to look at if this really reflects the values we carry as a nation. And tonight, I'm not going to be alone in the studio. I'm going to be here with a publisher, a CEO, a political analyst, and someone who is a known face on this platform because he is always here to do one analysis, either economics, finance, politics, even sports sometimes. So tonight, we're here with Chief Gabriel Olayinka. Good evening. You're welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure being here.
Yes. For 3 years or 2 years and some months, Nigerians have been on tenterhooks waiting for who will represent us across the world. And nothing seems to happen. But in a space of 1 week, we first have 3 lists of ambassador nominees. Now we have 32. And the list, rather than bring hopes or heaves of sign of relief, it seems it's creating more concerns than necessary. So I would like you to, first of all, maybe just have a chat for us. You know, I always like you to talk about the state of the nation, your advice, and give hopes to Nigeria. Then you talk about the ambassadorial list.
Yeah, generally, we say that there are issues every day. There seems to be issues around governance and responsibility that has to do with governing our country. And we all agree that despite the fact that we have begun democracy since 1999, we can never say that we have not made certain progress. What invariably people are saying is that the progress we have made is not commensurable to what it should be. Because a lot expect that as a country, we should be more than where we are today. Now, talking about the list of the ambassadors, the first thing as far as Nigerians are concerned is the slow pace at which we do certain things. We do certain things in Nigeria as if we are not actually ready for governance, because it took the current administration over 2 years, because the administration came into power May 2020, May 29, 2003, and today we are in December. That means you are talking about 2 years, 6 months. And after these 2 years, 6 months, we still came up with a list that is contentious. You see, every country is not expected to play with its diplomatic process. Because how could you look at it that Nigeria, the most populous black nation in the world, has been without ambassadors for these 2.5 years? It's unthinkable, it's unimaginable. But let's even look at that and look at the nominee. There are certain things that should not be political. What I see, most especially with the non-career ambassadors, is that what the presidency have done was to reward politicians. Career ambassadorship is not supposed to be a reward. An ambassador is representing the country of his origin, wherever he is. He should be somebody who will be able to represent us well. He should be somebody who understands diplomatic issues. He should be somebody, because it's like the president of Nigeria in that country.
Definitely.
Because he is the rallying point for all Nigerians that reside in that country. So it's funny for me, some of the people that I saw in the list, and I wished the president and the presidency will retrieve that step. Because when we see things like this as a reward, rather than the work itself that is expected to be done, then we are making a problem.
Let us even look at the list and try to break it down. We have 32 lists, 15 career nominees, while 17 non-career. Now, let's look at the non-career nominees and look at their background, brief background. We have Barrister Ogbonnaya Kalu from Abia State, a politician. Reno Mokri Delta, former aide to ex-President Goodluck Jonathan. Professor Mahmood Yakubu from Bauchi State, former INEC chairman. We have Erelu Bisi Angela Adebayo Ekiti, former wife of former First Lady of Ekiti State, to Adeniyi Adebayo. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi Enugu, former governor of Enugu State. Tasiu Musa Megere Katsina, former Speaker Katsina State House of Assembly. Then you have Yakubu Ngambo Plateau, former Plateau Commissioner, ex-Deputy Executive Secretary, UBEC. Then Professor Nora Ladi Dadot, Plateau, former Senator. Otumba Femi Pedro, Lagos, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Chief Feni Fani Kayode, former Aviation Minister. Barrister Nkechi Linda Ufochukwu Anambra, a legal practitioner. Fatima Florence Ajimobi, former First Lady of Oyo State. Then Lola Akonde, former Lagos State Commissioner for Women and Poverty Alleviation. Grace Bent, former Senator from Adamawa State. Dr. Victor Okeze Ekpeazu, former Governor of Abia State, and Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, businessman and a serving senator. So those, then we also have Ambassador Paul Oga Adiku, former ambassador to the Holy See. So these 70 are career, non-career nominees. And I think where the contentions are coming from is from this list of 17.
Nobody had problem with the career
ambassadors.
Maybe for the purpose of viewers, when we say somebody is a career ambassador, there are people who have worked in the
diplomatic corps, working embassy,
and foreign affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have gone through the rank over the years. Nobody has problem with that. But the problem a lot of people have is with the career ambassador. For me, the list is made up of the good, the bad, and the okay. We can, you understand?
Yes.
The good, we have people in that list that, we can call the good.
Yes.
Because based on their antecedents, based on their character, based on their behavior,
and experience.
We have those who can call the bad. We have people whom have charges before the EFCC, for instance.
Yes,
on this list, we have former governors whom we all know did not govern their state well. On this list, those I call the bad. People who have questionable character. We also have the ugly. We have people whom, I don't know, they could go to one of these countries and begin to carry placards and begin to remove shirt and fight. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it's an open secret. As these things happen, we've seen, the internet doesn't forget.
Yes, yes.
For instance, Chief Femi Kayode, we saw videos where he was harassing
A journalist.
a journalist. It's resurfaced. That is to tell you that the internet does not supplant. As a diplomatic person, you must be somebody who has self-control.
Definitely, definitely.
For instance, you can't send Femi Kayode to Israel, for instance.
Yes, for now you can. With these rhetorics,
Because he has severally criticized Israel.
yeah, he has taken a stand in the war between Palestine
And Israel. You can't send him to Israel, for
And
instance.
any country you send him to will be skeptical of the role he plays.
Especially if the country has diplomatic tie with Israel, with United States of America, So that's why I say that are the ugly. You see Raymond, for example. Raymond is somebody, recently a video surfaced where this channel's Sheung was interviewing. And he clearly said that he can never work with
President Bola.
President Bola Tinubu. He didn't say he may, he categorically said he can never work with President Bola Tinubu. He described the president as a drug baron. Today is the same person that has been appointed.
He is the most vocal non-appointed official for spokesperson for the president.
Yes. So that's why I said you can compensate these people with other appointment of special advisor, even ministers, as long as their roles and responsibilities within the country. But the position of ambassadors is more critical, that we cannot trade it for
Political
satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely.
I have high respect for the wife of former governor of your state,
Yeah.
But yet I don't see her as a diplomatic material.
I don't know her pedigree.
We all know, we saw, even when her husband died, we saw some of the comment and some of the fighting and infighting that took place. You understand? So what I'm saying invariably is that I'm not against any of them being appointed. But I'm saying, and we saw people who are, I can consider non-experienced, like the daughter of Orji Uzokam.
Oh. I missed that name. Okay, from Abia.
Yes.
I didn't know she was the, Barrister Ogbonaya Kalu.
Yes. She's the daughter of the current senator.
Senator, former governor, former senator.
Yes, former senator.
Wow, you just brought my attention to that, because I was compiling the list and I came up with a list of 11 women. So with what you told me now, that means there are 12 women. Among the 12, 7 women in the non-career and 5 or 6 in the career. Wow, this is a revelation.
So for me, it's like, and Kalu is a good friend of the president.
He is.
So what I'm saying is that Nigeria is too big that we shouldn't take certain things for mediocrity. The running and the office of running Nigeria is a serious business that it shouldn't be. Another problem for me in this list is the former INEC chairman.
That is the big elephant in the room, because he has a lot of countries question is the way he conducted the last election. And if he's posted to that country, I wonder the message that will be passing.
The message is that for all of us in that election, it's to consider a reward. It's like, you help me come to power, let me reward you with ambassadorial. I am expecting that Professor Mahmoud should reject this appointment.
Yes. for the sake of his integrity, and so that in order to clear his name.
Yes, because if it is another, if the president has appointed Jega, for instance, I won't have a problem with it. I would say Jega did not monitor an election that brought him to power.
Yes.
But for you to appoint the...
Just 2 years ago, it was the umpire that brought him into
power. Are you saying 2 years ago? When did he was still the chairman?
Last 2 months.
Was it not in November that he was replaced?
It was in November.
It was in November that he was replaced. So for you to appoint an INEC chairman who's supervised your election coming to power just 1 month after his leaving office, it's questionable.
And we also have this case of the former governor of Abia State, Piazzu, that he has an EFCC case.
He has an EFCC case, and he's one of the governors that was said not to have performed. That's one of the reasons I say, yeah, Famibade has a case with EFCC.
Yes.
The governor of Abia State, former governor, has a case with EFCC. So that's why I said, but you see, these names, let's just say that they are nominees.
They are nominees.
They are expected to be sent, these names are expected to be sent to the Senate. But my problem is, I have a problem with the Senate under Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Because hardly has anything gone to this Senate and did not pass through. In those days, we had a situation where a whole list of, during Bukola Saraki, hope you know that a whole list of ambassadors were returned back to the president.
But wasn't that a case of animosity between the president and the Senate president?
You see, you may call it animosity, you must call it something. But I must tell you that the Senate's, I think that is
the sixth or seventh.
No, the fifth or the sixth Senate, you know, under Bukola Saraki is, the sixth Senate. The sixth Senate under Bukola Saraki is one of the outstanding Senate. You may say there are a little differences, maybe it's one of the Senate that came into power because usually the executive influenced the leadership of the Senate. It is one of the independent Senate that came into power. We have had that situation where a whole list was rejected. The list was brought back, even though eventually some, the executives still find their way. But what I'm saying is that there's supposed to be proper scrutiny. Because you see, there's a problem, which I am seeing that others are not seeing. Hope you know that these countries have the right to accept or reject an ambassador sent to them.
They do. They do.
That means if we did not put our own house in order,
we may get rejections.
Likely to have a scenario in which we send somebody to a particular country and that country rejects it. That is more embarrassing.
While looking at this, let us also look at the names and look at some of those bright lights. You say we have the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
Let us look at some of the goods. I'm looking at Lola Akonde, former Lagos State, a writer, she's a writer, and she's a former Lagos State Commissioner for poverty alleviation.
Even the former governor of, deputy governor of
Lagos State, Femi Pedro, former director in GTB Bank,
yes,
before he became deputy governor.
Is a brilliant chap. The former speaker of Katsina, is a very wonderful and a very...
Tasiu Musa Megeri.
Yes, is a brilliant chap. But you know, I also have one confusion. A serving senator's name was on that list.
Yes, Senator Jimo Ibrahim from Ondo State. When I saw this, I was like, well, you know, nowadays I've seen cases where someone, you see a senator being offered ministerial position, appointment. So it's no longer news to me. Probably it could be in the dynamics of the calculation of elections in Ondo State. Probably they're trying to take Senator Jimoh Ibrahim out so that another person can come in. You know, politicians calculate years ahead. So I believe if he accepts this position, that means we should watch out for the calculation of Ondo State. Because that means, you know,
actually, it's one of the things I was asking. How could a name of a senator
be on that list?
And on the task of the good also, we have the former senator from Adamawa State.
Yeah, Grace Bent, married to retired Colonel Bent.
Yes. She's also a wonderful woman.
She's one of the examples of acceptability and unity, because she is Yoruba, married to a Bachama man, but she was so much accepted
in the hometown of
not only the whole senatorial district, and she won a seat that has been held by the likes of Jonathan Zingina.
Yes.
So you elect Jonathan. So you know that yes, this is one of the good stories of Nigeria. I always look at Grace Bent and I say, yes, this is the Nigeria we are supposed to have, a Nigeria that don't look at where you come from, but what you can offer to the society. So I think she's a very good choice for Adamawa State.
Yes. So that's why I said, for me, I'm not completely looking at destroying the list completely. You know, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly in the list. So, but we should not run into a situation whereby eventually we send somebody to a particular country, and the country go and reject him and say, no, this person have this, we have heard about this person's antecedent and all that.
Well, before we go to what the parties are saying, some people also talk about federal character, and there's some states don't have representatives. So I tried to do a breakdown of the state, because as it is, it seems we only have about 24 states that have representation. Probably maybe more will still come. Abia has 3, Adamawa has 2, Anambra 1, Bauchi 1, Bayelsa 1, Benue 1, Borno 1, Delta has 1 nominee, Ebonyi 1, Edo 1, Ekiti 1, Enugu 1, Kaduna, Kano has no nominee, Katsina has 2, Kebbi has 1, Kwara, and so on and so forth. So some states already agitated that their names are not on the list at all.
You see, the total number of ambassadors we're supposed to have, I think, is about 120 something.
Yes.
So if you look at the total already, I think we have if you look at the current one, is 34, I think so.
Yes, we have 32 on this list plus 3, that's 35. But 5 states don't have nominees now: Kano, Rivers, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara.
Yeah, I think 2 others. They are likely to have nominee either for the career or non-career ambassador. But the matter is, why is it taking us so long? Because, and why is the list, even now that we eventually even come, why is the list coming in piecemeal? So for submitted 3, 32, later maybe 5, another 1, 10, or how do we want to make the 100 or something? The number.
We're still a long way away from the number.
But you see, another issue is that in this country, we have a situation whereby we were not able to fund some of these our embassies.
Yeah, I think that's another issue.
Because we have a situation where a whole embassy of Nigeria in a particular country, electricity was cut off from them. We have a situation where a particular embassy in Nigeria, they were given quick notice.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a situation where the official resident of the ambassador was turned
to the embassy, so because there was no funds to run the
embassy's office. So this has also
I believe these are also some of the factors trying to see how we come out. But these are issues that has to do with the way we've been mismanaging our funds.
Yes, it's because how could it be that a whole Nigeria, you know that we have smaller countries? Countries like Kuwait, you know, countries
Jordan, these are
yes,
just small.
countries that are far, far smaller than us, and yet embassy and ambassadors in all the countries that they have diplomatic ties with, and without ship, funding these embassies and making sure that these embassies are in good hands.
And supporting their citizens within the country.
In those countries. So you now see that one of our problems as a country is mismanagement.
Definitely. Now let us look at what the parties are saying. The People's Democratic Party has criticized the newly released list of ambassadorial nominees submitted to the Senate by President Bola Tinubu, describing the selection as scandalous, reprehensible, and reflective of the administration's value. The party has therefore called on President Tinubu to withdraw the list and present new nominees who possess stellar democratic credentials and high moral standing, capable of projecting Nigeria positively on the international stage. This is coming from the PDP. That is their position that he should withdraw the list and represent people who have higher credentials and high moral standing. That is the position of the PDP on that. Meanwhile, ADC also fumes on the name of the former INEC chairman, just like you say. They are not happy that it's there. PDP also mentioned him categorically. They didn't mention other names, they just described some characters, but they specifically mentioned Professor Mahmood. Same thing applied to the ADC. And I'm sure as the day unfolds, you will see other parties coming up with So this is good for democracy, and if you ask me, this is what the opposition should be doing.
This is good for democracy, but for me, the opposition voice is weak. It is weak because beyond just the issue of saying don't accept lists, issue press statement, what else can this political party do? Because at this point, I am expecting them to influence their members at the National Assembly to oppose the list. But if you go to the Senate now, if you look at PDP, for instance, you know that there are PDP who are loyal to Wiki camp. There are PDP who are loyal to
As a matter of fact, tomorrow we may get another release from the other camp that the ambassador list is okay.
Because you see, already, hope you know that there is a tension in the Senate. Because reliably, we are told that because of people like Reno, it threw a confusion and a verbal listing on Senate's WhatsApp platform. That it has to be locked.
But people were very, very vocal about their disagreement.
In fact, Senator Natasha said she was challenging a particular senator and said he should repost her message that he deletes, or else she's going to bring their conversation to the public. So already it's throwing some debates in the Senate.
Because if you look at the history of Natasha and Reno, they have personal issues aside. So because he said she once accused him of sexual harassment, and he took her up with his lawyer and she paid him compensation. So definitely this may be one of the things, but I know Reno will find it very hard scaling. He was going to find it very hard scaling this thing in the Senate.
He may have some, will I call it tozu, or some attack in the Senate. But for me, he may eventually scale to, as long as you have the coverage
of the highs habit.
Because eventually what will happen is after all that he they will give people, they will bash him, you know, you will receive some level of bashing, and the House and the Senate will have agreed, particularly the leadership, you know, and say...
You negotiate, you give A, I give B.
this one is sent by the president, or president has interest and all that. Because you see, you will know that from that list, the National Security Advisor may have played a major role in ensuring Reno Omokere's name stays there. You saw in his appreciation, he particularly said, appreciated Malam.
Yes, definitely.
Malam he was referring to in that appreciation
is, you know, he got to know, from what he said, based on his own, he got to know people in power through Malam Nuhu Ribadu.
Yes.
It was through him we got to know Atiku, got to know El-Rufai, and later President Goodluck Jonathan became his aide and now switched to. So I'm very sure he must have the backings of Malam Nuhu Ribadu. And you know the NSA plays a very big part in clearing, in clearance.
Yes, because security clearance is one of the clearing.
Yeah.
And you know, to know how politicians behave, I saw the write-up by Reno, where he was describing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu like Jesus Christ, who forgives.
That is politics for me. That is politics. I remember then when the present Senate president used to be called uncommon senator, when he was a minority leader in the House during the Sixth Republic. He was one of the people that was very vocal against the APC. Then he was in the minority, but he was one of the force behind the strength of the Senate president. During Buhari's first tenure. But look at how it changed now. Now he's the face of the APC, so you can't trust politicians. You can't. If Reno, if the likes of Reno, look at FFK.
Yes.
I don't think.
Is it Bala?
Daniel Bwala. So, and the thing is that I look at this. Look at these three characters. All the parties.
In 2020, before 2023 election, I can say that Bwala and Remo, I don't think there's anybody in Nigeria that criticizes Tinubu more than them. Today they are in the power.
They are in power. And what surprises me is this. If you look at their trajectory, the two major parties, APC and PDP, have all used them. They've been useful for the PDP.
Yes.
Bwala was with President Tinubu until he chose a Muslim candidate, running mate. Then he joined the PDP and he was one of the spokespersons with Reno. After election, he switched, Reno switched. I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Next election, one of them may be in another party.
Yes, of course. I agree.
Look at FFK. He has been campaign director for a PDP presidential. He has been the campaign team, publicity team of a PDP presidential, two PDP presidential candidates, and also two APC presidential candidates. So they can sell anything to the world. And for those of us that know them, whatever they say, I take it at face value because they may say the direct opposite tomorrow.
Definitely. And that is what we are seeing today. Because imagine that somebody who attacked a particular government for coming to power, now that the government is the power, is the one working for the government.
He is one of the best ambassadors for the government.
Yes.
That is politicians for it. Even look at the people that are crossing over from one party to the others today. You begin to wonder. These are people who stood firmly and said, no, this party is not good. This party is good. These people are not. But
that's why the current divide and rule practice that is happening in our country is not good for our democracy. You know, somebody may be enjoying it now. Let's say APC are enjoying it because with this divide and rule now, so many people who sees ahead will begin to think whether or not they should be in a particular party. Take for PDP, for instance. PDP is thinking of conducting another primary in Osun State because they said it become obvious that
the governor is not interested in the ticket. Today I saw they say he's not interested in the ticket.
So imagine now that you have a ticket before you, you are looking at it, the ticket, nobody is contesting the ticket, you are looking at it as worthless.
A ticket of PDP, yes, of a sitting governor.
Yes. this is a ticket that people almost believe that if you get
that ticket, that seals it for you.
Today, the governor of Osun State has a ticket of PDP, and yet he's not considering using it because anything can happen. The faction that accepted him as a governorship candidate tomorrow, if INEC recognize the other faction,
it's work in vain.
This has happened in Zamfara.
Yes, it happened in Zamfara.
How did PDP won Zamfara?
The APC.
PDP won Zamfara because the APC in Zamfara was having different factions of executive. Eventually, when the other set of executive were the one that INEC and the court recognized, they said, these people produced by this faction were null and void. And the court ruled that by implication, since they did not come up through an authentic listing, APC had no candidate in the election.
And that's how PDP, Matawale, became
governor. Matawale was the former governor. That was how the current governor became
governor. And look at where we are today. So everybody is afraid. And so that is why, if you look at the ADC, let's look at it. You could see that the ADC, sometimes, I spoke to one of them, I said, why are we not hearing much about it? They said they have to be careful so that they don't get infiltrated. The fear of being infiltrated, the fear of just allowing people come in. You know, the PDP allowed a lot of characters to come in, set their feet down in the party, and now they can't pull them out. And the ADC, I think they are very skeptical of that now, because once you allow someone who is there to destroy the party to become an executive in the party, it becomes a problem. That is what is happening to PDP. You see BOT members who are not loyal. You see NEC members who are not loyal. You see NWC members who are not loyal. You see governors. You don't know which direction they're going. So all the other parties are skeptical because you bring in someone, he has an ulterior motive. So it's a dirty politics game in Nigeria, and I think we need to clean up at the party system, and it must start with internal democracy within the party.
Yeah, you see, for me, the ADC has a chance. We're still about 1.5 years into 2023 election. Number one, if they're able to clear, because they were trying to infiltrate the ADC itself. The idea where they are trying to look at leadership crisis within ADC is one thing.
Yes.
Because looking at that, when this coalition took over, you know, we had the issue of when the national chairman stepped down, there is a faction that came over and said...
led by Ibe Kachikwu, their former presidential candidate, that has been expelled.
Yes, that they remain in the party. You see, I should expect that APC should understand that it is not even healthy for it to be a sole party. Because democracy is sweet when there are opposition. Why is America enjoying their democracy today? Because the election as you go, we all know that it can swing to anyone. It can swing to SDP, it can swing to Democratic, it can swing to Republican. So because of that, you will see that no matter what happens, everybody is careful. Donald Trump was the president. He lost election before coming back. Democrats were the incumbent, the vice president of Biden was in the ballot, but she lost election. So that's why our democratic system needs to be strengthened in such a way that our independent National Electoral Commission must be truly independent. And that is the reason why I oppose the appointment of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu as an ambassador, because that is going to jeopardize the issue of independence. Because whoever is there tomorrow will also want to be careful and want to get reward tomorrow.
But I want us to look at this issue. Can we blame the issue of the campaign moving from solely on the ruling party, or is it not a character defect with our political class? Because it didn't start today, it just kept. During the PDP era, we saw such migrations, but not at this scale. Then over time, even most of those that complain today, they are masters of defection. They are people who fly at every throw of the stone. Isn't this thing not, if we keep looking at the ruling party and putting all the blames on them, I think we'll miss the point. What about the character of our politicians? Because the person complaining today most of them left the PDP too when the PDP lost power. So isn't this a character defect in our political class that they don't want to stay out of power? Wherever the land is green, that is where they go to.
You see, I as a person, I'm not completely blaming the ruling party or the issue of defection. What I'm saying is that the ruling party should not contribute in destroying democracy. That's the point I'm making. But you see, the problem of defection is lack of ideology in our democratic system. Our democratic system in Nigeria lack ideology.
Just win
what
election.
has kept the American democracy is that ideology. A Democrat, a Republican has an ideology.
Is a Republican true and true?
Republican, a Democrat has an ideology. Is a Democrat, and he goes by the ideology of the Democrats. But in our own country, we don't have ideology. That is the major problem of our political.
You don't see, if you look at the Democrats, whenever they're in power, you will see they begin to fight for things like abortion rights, women rights, these rights. But if you look and they go against things like arms, gun control. And if the Republicans are there, you clearly know the direction that they are going. But in Nigeria, it is just the direction the leader wants to go.
That's the problem. That's the issue. Of
no ideology.
Democracy is supposed to be an ideology ruled by ideology. Most of our Democrats over the years, people who have been able to make impact, what rule them and what guide them in their democratic journey is the ideology that they hold. And when people hold a particular ideology, they try to see how to pursue it. But in our own country, somebody can be in a particular, because let me give an example. When PDP was in power, particularly the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, he came up with the idea of removing subsidy. The current administration, led by Tinubu and co, attacked, went to the street and said subsidy should not be removed. But when this same administration came back to power, they removed the same subsidy they opposed being removed before. What happened?
And even those that supported the subsidy removal then, they went against it now. So it was not about ideology, it was just about opposition.
Just about opposition. Over the years, a lot of people have clamored for state police. The current administration has always opposed state police that is going to be used by government. Today, who are the people championing state police? So until Nigeria begins to look at what is good for the country, rather than what is good for an individual, we will never make progress.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we will go for a short break now. Don't go anywhere. When we will come back, we're going to discuss some other issues that has to do with the nation. Thank you very much.
Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Supercash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app for services endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With Supergo, your groceries comes to you. We partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. Supergo Supermarket, your market now in your hands. With Supergo, your ride is comfortable, easy, and convenient. Supergo is more than an app. It's a movement, moving people, powering threats, delivering value.
Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay.
Welcome back to today's Politics on Some TV. I'm C. Abraham Minor Joda, and if you're just joining us, you can watch us on Facebook as Some TV. You can watch us on YouTube as Some TV Live, and you can watch us on all our free-to-air decoders that you have. So today we're discussing the ambassadorial nominee list as presented by the president that will be screened by the Senate. And with me this evening is Chief Gabriel Olayinka. You're welcome. Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, we've spoken so much about the ambassadorial list. Well, if you're just joining us, you can still watch this program on Facebook. Some TV, you can search for us, Some TV on Facebook, and Some TV Live on YouTube, and also Some TV Live on TikTok. So you can catch up for the first half of the program. Now we're going to the issue that bothers everybody, the issue of insecurity. The president has declared an emergency on insecurity. He has said they're going to unleash terror on terrorists. But we just saw over the weekend, bandits unleashed terror in Kogi, Kano, Sokoto, Kwara. And we can see that in the case of Yagba West local government area of Kogi State, a Cherubim and Seraphim Church at Ejigba in Yagba West was attacked. They abducted a pastor and his wife and several worshippers. We have other cases again, the cases of bandits in fresh attack in Kano border community, Yankamaye village in Sanyanwa local government area of Kano State. A woman was killed and abducted 3 other women. And we also have a case in Sanyawa and Shanunu local government area. The marauders also on Saturday night attacked Chacho village in Wuruno local government area of Sokoto State and abducted a bridesmaids and several others who were preparing for a wedding the following day. And also again in Kwara, bandits who abducted Joji Bara of Bayagon in a fellow local government area of Kwara State, Alhaji Kamilu Salami, in his farm Saturday morning, demanded 150 million ransom from the community before he could be freed, while 2 of the 6 directors of the Ministry of Defense kidnapped in Kogi 3 weeks ago are still in the custody of the abductors. So the attack on the church on Sunday, okay. I will go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
past that shaped us.
To the future we proudly define.
Sun TV, Africa, seen, heard, celebrated. Sun TV, cause of the nation. Africa, a land of truth, rhythm, and resilience.
Where every thread of the fabric tells a story,
Every beat of the drum echoes heritage.
and every voice carries the soul of generation.
We are Africa, bold, beautiful, and timeless. At Sun TV, we don't just tell African stories.
We celebrate it in every color, sound, and tradition.
From the past that shaped us.
To the future we proudly define.
Sun TV, Africa, seen, heard, celebrated. Sun TV, cause of the nation. Africa,
For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Supercash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app for services endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
no time.
Welcome back to today's Politics on Sun TV. If you're just joining us, we've been discussing yes, and if you missed the first half of the video, you can still watch it on Sun or on Facebook, Sun TV, on YouTube, Sun TV Live, on TikTok, Sun TV Live, Instagram, Sun TV Live, and also we have it on satellite on the footwear satellite you watch them later in the day. Any of the analysis that we done in the first half of this program. Now, in this second segment, we'll be looking at the issue of insecurity. Over the weekend, despite the president's speech, despite the president's words about insecurity in Strait, the call for emergency, we see a series of bandit attacks across the country. We have bandits unleashed terror in Kogi, Kano, Sokoto, Kwara. We see church attacked, a pastor and his wife abducted. We see even Kano that was not known in Shanono local government. The wedding procession was attacked, and the wife, the bride, and some members of her family were kidnapped. And also cases like that, and also in Kwara State, in the federal local government, a traditional leader was abducted from his farm, and the abductors have demanded 150 million as ransom. So just across the country like that, we still have this pocket of insecurity. Do you think we're not doing enough as a nation?
We must stop deceiving ourselves because we have not taken security the way it's supposed to be taken. Because you see, the problem of our insecurity is multifaceted in the fact that even our security architecture several times has been compromised. And you see, we must begin to take the issue because based on our constitution, the security of life and property is supposed to be the primary objective of government. And with 2027 election coming, there are issues of the real insecurity, there are issues of sabotage, because over the years, you have seen that as election get close by, you will see that usually the issue of insecurity seems to be increasing.
Yes.
And we are already just 1 year left because we are already two years and a half into this administration. So I think for me, declaring the state of emergency alone is not enough. It is good to begin to take some decisive steps. And what are some of these decisive steps? It is important for us to begin to do some strategic attack. Let me call it strategic attack because you see, somebody said the best form of defense is attack.
That is it.
Because we cannot say we don't know the houses, we don't know the forest, or where. Look at when these children were released. The adopters in one of the videos were asking them, how many airlines did you see fly over this place? They say they cannot count. For plane to have fly over those places, it means that we actually know those areas where these things were happening. And you know, the matter is becoming, we should stop a reactive approach. We should start a proactive approach. Imagine when that happened in Kogi. It is after the adopters came, we are told that helicopter came, you know, to the
helicopter should pursue the adopters. Not
so rather than coming to, and you see, you begin to, if you see the confession of some of the teachers at that school in Niger State, we were told, they said as at the time the adoption was happening, they saw or they heard helicopter around that area at that night. People started asking questions. Was it a helicopter that they used to come and pick those children? So there are several things that is so confusing. Up to today, as at today that I know, I don't know, maybe after this program, we were not yet told that they have been able to make contact with the adopters of these 250-something children. The security of these children, and do you know that among these children there are primary school children?
Yes, because it's a primary and secondary school.
So we have about 6 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old, 10-year-old students. I saw one video where the children, the parents were rolling down, crying, and all that. And up to today, I listened to the Bishop of Kantagora, because that area is under the diocese of Kantagora. And he said that up to now, nobody has contacted the school, and they have not even demanded for ransom. So you begin to ask, what is the fate of these children? What is the situation at which they are currently passing through? So I think that we need to do more. We are already failing the generation at which we are supposed to protect. What do you think will be the mindset of these children about this country? That at this tender age, at their age, they are meant to face this kind of horrible situation. So for me, I could say it's good we declare state of emergency, but it's not enough. Much needs to be done to secure and make this country. I applaud some of the steps that is taken, but no doubt about that. I agree in removal of police attached to VIP, because available records shows that about 100,000 total. We have about 300 1,000 policemen, if out of 300,000 policemen, 100,000 is meant to guide some few individuals, it doesn't speak well of us. I applaud the idea of more recruitment, using NYSC camp as a recruitment centers for police so that we can have more places. I support those initiatives, but we need to do more. A lot of schools are still closed by this time.
Yes. They are closed for the year.
Yes. 42 unity schools were closed. Even those whom officially was not announced closed, some of them went ahead and closed.
I know some schools that just rounded up their exams.
Yes,
and
exams were conducted within 3 days. I know schools that within 3 days just make their students to write an exam. We are already saying the standard of education in Nigeria is falling. With this, we're making the standard. I know one of the school conducting online
classes,
exams. You understand? For these children, which even when they were seated in their classroom, we know what they do sometimes. How much more when they are writing exam from the comfort of their home. So, for me, a lot need to be done. A lot need to be done.
Well, we'll keep calling on government, and we can speak in the Some TV on any of our programs that security is key to development. Without security, there's nothing that can be done. There will be no development, there will be no education, there will be no peace. There is nothing that Nigerians will enjoy without security. So we keep calling on government, we keep calling on the security agencies, we keep calling on Nigerians. Let us give peace a chance. Let us fight as a common people, with a common front against this criminal and criminality. So we want to thank you, Chief Gabriel Olayinka, for your contributions, for your analysis, and for the deliberations you've done today. And we also want to thank everyone that has participated in today's program. Those of you that have watched, I call you participant, because if you're not watching, we would not be here to dish out the information to you. And just like I said, you can still watch this program live and every other program we have on Facebook, on Some TV, and YouTube, Some TV Live, on Instagram, Some TV Live, on TikTok, Some TV Live, and you can also watch us on free-to-air satellite. So we thank you very much, and today is Monday, the first day of the week, and we have events lined up for you for the rest of the year, 24/7. Keep watching Some TV. My name is Abraham Bainijo.